Welcome back to Norton Reviews, everyone. I am your host, John Norton, and we are looking at Avengers number 500. Avengers Disassembled, Chaos Part 1. This was the prelude to the New Avengers. New Avengers was the first video I had done, the first comic I showcased here. And this was the time that I was really getting into comic books again. I was into them when I was younger with X-Men, during the Age of Apocalypse, during the Onslaught thing. The Image stuff was there, Jim Lee, that was all cool, right? But then there's a long point where like X-Men just wasn't doing it for me. There wasn't a lot of comics that I was just like really into at the time. Brian Michael Bendis was making a name for himself. He had done some independent books, Powers, I think, which I never read. But then in the Ultimate Universe, he was doing Ultimate Spider-Man. And then he was doing some really cool stories and cool stuff with Daredevil. And he did some stuff with Jessica Jones and Alias. And because he was making a name for himself, Marvel gave him the reins of their flagship title, what they wanted to be their flagship title. X-Men was for a long time. But Avengers should be, right? Because of the characters they have. It should be like their Justice League. And I guess I don't know what sales were doing, but they said like, okay, Bendis, take it and run with it. What do you want to do? So I don't know how those conversations, I'm pretty sure Joe Quesada was involved with like what they want to do with the New Avengers. But they're like, before we revamp Avengers, we got to end the Avengers. So this is where we get Avengers Disassembled. So they bring in David Finch as artist, who I really do enjoy. He got his start in Image and Top Cow, doing some Cyberforce stuff. If you want to know more about him and some of the stuff he does, go to my brother Rob's channel. He showcased a lot of the books that he's done over there. He can tell you more about Finch and all that stuff. But when he came on to Avengers, I feel his art went to another level. It seemed like he was putting his all into it because it was just such a big deal with Avengers. And we'll see if he does it here. But I know in New Avengers #1, in that first breakout storyline, he sacrificed his art in service to the story. Sorry, I just feel like my camera can be better. So like there'd be big scenes where, as an artist, you can sell the original pencils, you sell the original art for quite a good price. And I'm sure that's how Finch, they get paid to draw these, but that's how they make a living too. It's like selling some of their pages. And what sells is like the big hero shot, the anchor image, the cool shot of Captain America, or the sexy shot of She-Hulk or somebody. But in the New Avengers, there would be times when like there'd be a double page or a splash page. But for the sake of the story, it was just like a small, like it was the raft of the prison, and it was like a big like explosion coming out of it. Like probably not a lot of people would want to buy that art. So, again, art in service of the story. So where are we here? Here it gives a recap of like Avengers #1 back in the day, #1 to 500. And you got all these heroes: Iron Man, Wasp, Yellow Jacket, which is Henry Pym, Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Vision, Falcon, She-Hulk, Scott Lang, who is Ant-Man, Captain Britain, not sure who that is, and Black Panther. All these people, except this person, have been in live action. So that shows you like how good, how important the Avengers are. So we're at Avengers Mansion, and they're already having these conversations. And this is what I like about Bendis and his writing style, is that he has people have realistic conversations. Not like, I don't know, like Chris Claremont, like for all the great writing and stories he's done. He had often, I don't know, his dialogue was just silly sometimes. So Bendis has really excelled in good dialogue. And we're talking about, like, you don't know who's talking, but Viper? Really? Yeah. Madam Hydra? Yeah. What? Yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah, whatever. Yes. He's like, the one with the green hair? Yes, my dear Ant-Man, is Hawkeye talking. The one with the sexy green hair and green leather. And they're like, you have a thing for her? So they're talking about, like, what villains do you find sexy? And he's like, Madam Hydra. And they're like, oh, God. And you're like, you're a pig. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about, Jennifer She-Hulk back here. He's like, Jan, am I wrong? Is he being a pig? He's like, no, you're not wrong. Yes, he's a pig. Like, see? He's like, he asked me who my number one can't have is. And they're like, oh, that's just sick. You men. And he's like, you said Viper? And this is just kind of funny. And this little thing, he's kind of saying, like, he says, must be all the green, as he's looking at She-Hulk, who has the green skin. So just a moment of levity before things really go to fucking shit here in a second. So then there's a security breach. Level red. Whatever. So they go and they see this guy. And it's like Jack Hart. Jack of Hearts. I don't know who this character was. Bendis is good at putting, showcasing some B-list and C-list characters in some of these Avengers titles. So this guy is like, what? He's looking zombified? And he's supposed to be dead? So what the fuck is going on? So they're like, okay, let's go check it out. Avengers Assemble. So Scott Lang, Paul Rudd there, he goes out first. And he, goes big. And like, this is a cool, I like the effects of the metallic helmet. He's trying to talk to the dude, like, how are you alive? What's going on? I thought you died saving my daughter, Cassie Lang, right? That's interesting. And he's still, like, weird zombified. It's like, is everything gonna be, like, is everything okay? And he says, I'm sorry. Kaboom. What the fuck? Like, what did fucking Paul Rudd just die? Like, imagine if this was the opening of an Avengers movie. Like, somebody who you thought died. Like, what if this was Quicksilver or something? I don't know. Somebody who you thought was dead. They come back zombified, and then they just fucking explode. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, the art and service of the story. This is a cool image, right? Are you going to, especially like that, are you going to, like, want to buy just that piece or just that piece? You have to buy them together. I guess that's kind of a cool thing to have on your wall. But probably doesn't go as much. So good on David Finch for putting in this effort and making it very cinematic and thematic. So there's Hawkeye and She-Hulk, and they're getting blasted by the blast. Now they're under all this rubble. Everyone okay, can't breathe. It's like, Hawkeye, take point. He's like, take point of what? And they're like, Scott, what happened? They're all like kind of in shock, right? And then they look out and there's just this fucking crater. And they're like, where's Scott? Where is he? And they just see like this, look at this fucking skeletal hand. Is that Ant-Man? He's just fucking dead? Then you go to Wolverine, and he's, oh wait, this is an advertisement for kids being active. Like Wolverine, he's killing people here. Oh, they're robots. You get it. It's fun. That's the fucking ultimate Wolverine version with that thing there. That's the worst version of Wolverine. So now we go to, I think, the UN, right? You got Iron Man, and he's giving this speech here. And, I don't know what they're talking about. He's just giving a speech about costume heroes. He's Secretary of Defense, I guess. He's a citizen of the world. He's an Avenger, and he starts acting weird. He starts feeling strange, right? And he sees this guy from Latveria, which is where Doctor Doom is from, right? Doctor Doom is a villain. Latveria, that's the ambassador from there. And he's like, sees him, and he has this look, and he's like sweating and shit. I skipped a page. And then he's in the middle of a speech, he just stops. He's like, wait a minute, can we just, like, this guy right here, this fucking guy right here, like, why are we letting him here? He's from Latveria, come on. And he's just, like, calling him a piece of shit, a piece of garbage. He's like, do you know what a rat fink is? Look it up in the dictionary, you'll see a face of yourself, and you got Yellow Jacket here with him, Hank Pym. He's like, Tony, what the fuck are you doing? Stop it, you know? And he's like, oh, what? I'm the jerk? He's just, like, Iron Man's just acting really weird. And there's T'Challa, Black Panther, and he steps up. He's like, Tony, it'd be a good idea if you stop. Just step down. He's like, shut the fuck up, T'Challa. He's like, you know, a good thing is put him out of our misery. So what the fuck? Why is Iron Man acting like this? He's putting his hand up. He's ready to fucking blow this guy away. And T'Challa, he's like shielding him. He's like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what's going on with you? And he has this fucking look on his face. He's like, Stark, if you do this. And he finally just stops. And he's like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, he's just yelling. He's like, shut up. Don't you have a wife to beat? He says that to him. Jeez, that's fucked up in so many ways. And he just goes away and he's pissed off. Like, what? Why is Iron Man acting like this? So Scarlet Witch, Wanda, she's there. She's like, what's going on? And he's like, I know this feeling. I think I'm drunk. And they're like, and, you know, in the comics, he had been an alcoholic, but now he's sober. He's been sober for a long time. So now he's drunk. And they're like, oh no, you've been sober for so long. And he's like, I didn't drink anything. I know the feeling. I feel drunk, but I have not drunk anything. I have not, like, I did not relapse. And it's interesting, why, like, you got Scarlet Witch here, and she's just in shadows. And the explanation for that is kind of interesting later. I mean, if you know, you know. But then they get the code, like what happened at the mansion. So they go to the site, and you got like firefighters there. They're trying to put it out. Captain America's there finally. They're getting a statement from Jarvis, and Captain America's like, you talk to that man like you're talking to me. He's an Avenger as far as I'm concerned. And then Captain America tries to figure out what's happened. He wasn't there during all of that. And they said Scott Lang has died in a most terrible way. Someone has to call his daughter. And they're like, wait, who's that? And there's a Quinjet in the sky. And they're all looking up. I like these fucking long panels. I've talked about these before, about how drawing in these vertical panels, especially skinny like that, can be extremely hard to do for me. Like, I draw in a movie like mindset where it's like it's horizontal, you know, like you're looking at a movie screen. That's easiest for me. To do them in this way is just hard. So you see a Quinjet. It's like, yeah, the whole team's been called in. It's coming. It's getting closer. And like, it's coming in kind of fast. Closer and closer. Like, okay, wait a minute, everyone. In Captain America, he's able to see, and there's vision. And he just gets this like sudden look in his eye, like this horror realization. And that fucking Quinjet comes fucking crashing down. Like, what the fuck is going on? As a reader, I mean, you know, Disassemble, and I think it was being portrayed, like advertised, like the end of the Avengers, but this is just some fucking crazy shit. I wasn't a big fan of the Avengers. I was all into the X-Men at the time, so I don't know a lot of their history. I knew enough of them. I'd gotten some issues as a kid. I gotten a lot of issues of Thor and some of Captain America. You know, you read the crossover events like in Infinity Gauntlet, so you know the Avengers and about a lot of what they are and what they stand for. And just to see this shit happen to him is fucking mind-blowing. Again, art and service to the story. That's a cool image here to see. Probably didn't get paid a lot to sell these original pages. Maybe he did, I don't know. And what's going on here? It comes crashing down. It comes like barreling for, like, keeps going, hits a tree. People are going to check it out. There's Falcon, Wasp. And you see just this cool shot from, like, you know, New York, and like that's where the mansion is. I mean, how far did it go? Is that where the mansion is? At least that's where the Quinjet is now. So they're coming up on the Quinjet to see what's going on, and out steps a foot. And there's Vision. And what does he say here? I bid you tidings in this, our darkest hours. I'm no longer in control of the organisms that make up my body structure. And he's basically saying our time is over. I cannot explain to you in terms that any of you will understand, and about why you are about to be punished. So Vision just gets up. This would be crazy to see in an Avengers movie. He's like, what happened? Just tell us what is going on. And it's starting to melt. Something weird is going on. He's like, do know that though this will seem a betrayal for me, it is not I who bring this plague upon you. Do know that I feel an overwhelming shame for what now has, and then he can't talk. He's like, and like his fucking mouth opens up as he's melting or something like that. And he spits out this fucking ball. It comes bouncing around, and Cap is still on him. It's like, what's wrong? What is going on? Hawkeye's ready to put an arrow into him. He like vomits out a few more of these balls, and Cap's like, I don't know what's going on, but everyone fall back, and these spheres, these orbs, whatever, they're there, and they start morphing like this weird liquid metal, and they form into fucking Ultron, several different Ultrons. Like, fuck, man. And then Caps, he's like saying, I said fall back. And they're like, fall back where? So they shoot. He's blocking it. Cool shot of Ultron there, like shooting out of his eyes. So they're in mid-battle. And fucking Wasp, like, this is a nightmare. Why is this happening? 5 Ultron robots. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 somewhere, I guess. Hawkeye says, call me a traditionalist, but I always thought 1 was plenty. So Hawkeye shoots out all these fucking arrows. He hits all 5 of them at once. He takes them out. Or tries, like they're not. It just explodes inside. This cool shot of like the smoke and fire inside the mouth, and they're still there. So the Avengers, they're starting to go forwards. She-Hulk's ready to end this. There's just fighting, things going on. She-Hulk's eyes, her face is getting a little fucking crazy there, right? And someone's saying, how is this all connected with Jack of Hearts returning from the dead, killing Ant-Man? She-Hulk, she's got one of the Ultrons. Agent Coleman at Avengers HQ. We're being attacked by multiple, whatever. So big fight. Captain America's in there. He's fighting, taking down this Ultron, bringing his shield, like holding it high, bringing it down. I feel like we saw that we had to have seen that in Age of Ultron somewhere in the movie. Hawkeye doing his thing. And Cap sells, like, hit him in the neck, no head, no Ultron. She-Hulk rips it off. She's going, like, full Hulk on these fucking things. Fucking Falcon comes swooping in, picks up the head from Cap and just throws it. I guess that's I guess that works. She-Hulk going crazy still. But she get going even crazier. She keeps like smashing this fucking Ultron into the ground over and over and over. And looking like that fucking face. Falcon's still doing shit. Picking up an Ultron. It's heavy. Going high into the sky and I think dropping it down. She-Hulk is still going fucking nuts. She's definitely hulking out. It looks like she's getting bigger, stronger. She's getting angry. And then she goes up to fucking Vision's body. Like the battle's done with the Ultron. She goes up to Vision. She's like, I'm so sick of this. Why is this happening? Why is Scott dead? What is going on? Wake up. She's just yelling at this motherfucker. She's so pissed off. I just watched an Avenger die. This is our home. Why? And she's just like fucking losing it, right? And Cap, he goes up. He's like, hey, Jennifer, like, calm down. Try and calm yourself. It's like, it's not even human. It's just a thing. It tried to kill us. He's like, put him down. They're trying to tell her to calm down. Look at this fucking look in her eyes. Like, have we seen that look before? So she has Vision right here, and he's still alive, still an android. Oh my God. Fucking rips him in two. That is fucking nuts. Like that look on her face. Like, what is going on with She-Hulk now? And everyone is just fucking freaked the fuck out. That is not normal, right? Have you ever seen She-Hulk act like that? And so they're trying to plead with her to stop. And Captain America's like, an Avenger or not, I will put you down. She's just yelling at them, shut up. She starts attacking Captain America right there. He has to pull up his shield. She's banging on it. The shield commandos, they're like, we need a Hulkbuster crew ASAP. She's picking up this fucking, Cap's doing his best to hold his own against her, but he gets knocked down. She picks up this fucking truck. She's going to bring it down right on his ass. He looks up, sees those headlights. Cuts to black. And we go here, and we just see these words. Is it over? No, there's more, much more. And how much do they have to answer for? We should just kill them and be done with it. And what would that prove? It has no meaning that way. You are so stupid. But the answer is no, it isn't over. To be continued. So that is a crazy cool issue, right? Imagine if they made this movie. Like if Avengers Endgame hadn't happened, or it did happen, Captain America and Iron Man were still around, right? And then we just started like this, day in the life, and then somebody who we thought was dead. What if it was Quicksilver from the MCU? He shows up and he just fucking blows up their base, killing fucking Ant-Man right off the start. And then Iron Man, he starts acting fucking drunk. He's going to start like killing people right in front of everybody. He starts acting crazy. That's not normal for him. Why is Scarlet Witch looking all suspicious? And then this fucking Quinjet comes down and crashes again into people. And it's Vision. He steps out and he releases these like Ultron robots, and they have to fight these Ultrons. And fucking She-Hulk goes insane. She-Hulks out. She-Hulks out. Get it? She-Hulk. She-Hulks. Rips Vision in two. And that's like, imagine that in a movie. That is just a cool way. Like, I'm hooked, right? Like, I want to read more. So we'll get to like future issues of this and about what's going on and why it's going on in the future. So that's all for this video. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new, because we got more content on the way. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.